Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina on yet another amazing spring Sunday. First of all, before the shave, happy Mother's Day to everyone who's celebrating this version of it. Let's get started for today. We have two new products. And yes, if your mom wants to watch this video, highly recommend it as a Mother's Day gift. Today is a oft requested and often delayed shave soap. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Well, no longer. Today it is the Mitchell's Wool Fat Shaving Soap. This says it's the original 1893 formula, so they must be doing something right. And it has this delicious alliterative piece here: soothes, softens, and smooths. Easy for them to say. I have the puck loading in the Captain's Choice loading bowl. It is a tallow-based soap, which includes lanolin. So if you're sensitive to lanolin, this is not the soap to you. Now, here is the soap puck, which I've just pressed into the loading bowl. This soap does enjoy kind of a mixed reputation in the sense that some people love it because of its post-shave quality, its slickness. It just makes for a very, very nice shave, but it also enjoys a reputation as a somewhat difficult to lather and difficult to use soap. Now, I have helped myself out a little bit in that regard because I'm just shaking the water out of it. I'm using number 2 of the custom brushes that Graydog sent me, and today this is a mixed Badger and Boar knot 70-30 in this fantastic cocobolo rosewood handle. Now, I've said it before and I will say it again, I do love sort of the acrylic or the resin handles. They obviously are going to last quite a while, but they just can't compete with sort of the uniqueness and the look of the natural wood. Now, you are seeing an interesting mix for some people that are merging in things like a wood burl and an acrylic. And I think that's a fantastic middle ground. Uniqueness because of the design, the color, but you have some natural materials in there as well. This is a gorgeous looking handle. Look at the shade of the wood, the grain, just the dark grain against the light, slightly orange, slightly reddish, slightly brownish color of the wood. And I think this is the 26 millimeter knot, can't remember, but it is the 70-30 mixed Badger and Boar. I've had that soaking for a while. The only other mixed hair knot I have is in the RazoRock Amici, and that has remained a little too scrubby and scritchy for me, even though I've gone through sort of the soaking process, so I don't use that one too often. It's a wonderful souvenir brush because it was a limited edition, but it just is a little too scritchy. This one has turned out to be in a very, very nice sweet spot. Today's razor is going to be the Rockwell 6S. We just assemble that now. There's the top cap. I'm also using a Rockwell razor's blade, if I can turn that the right way so you can see that. There you go. So it's all Rockwell today for the razor and blade. So this comes with the adjustable base plate, and whatever number you can see there, that has to be facing towards you. So the number you can see when you assemble it is the aggressiveness or the setting of the razor. So I'm going to start off with 4 for the first 2 passes and then switch down to 2 by flipping the base plate for the last pass. Yes, I'm using the washer. The washer in here is both a boon and a pain because when it comes time to switch the base plate over, the washer, when it's wet, has a tendency to stick or move abruptly. So there's a chance it might fall in the sink. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and get my face wet and we'll start lathering off the soap. And we'll crack on, as my dear friend Aunt Smith used to say. Now, as for the lather, so all I've done, I have not soaked this soap once. I haven't tried to bloom it. I haven't let it sit in water overnight. All I have done is just soak my brush and then just lathered. And I will say it has sort of a, it was initially a bit reluctant. There's like a meniscus or some layer on the soap, which is true for a lot of hard soaps. You sort of have to break through that initial overly dry layer to get to the soap below. But all I've done is just frequently dripped a few drops of water onto the soap and just continue to work the brush over it. This 70-30 knot, by the way, is really an excellent complement to the soap. My only issue is that I've had more hairs come out than I thought. I'm probably up this, I don't know, 8 or 9. There's a hair or 2 loose already. Let me just pull that one out. I'm hoping that stops, but there we go. As you can see, I'm really not doing anything special here. I'm just loading it like I would any other soap. I can definitely understand though, if you are new to wet shaving, or I don't know, depending on maybe the brush that you have, This is going to seem very difficult to get loaded onto the brush, but that's true for a lot of hard soaps. Apparently, if you soak this, then it starts to crack. I have none of that. There is a bit of an odd texture to the top of the soap, but no cracking as of yet. And you can see that's building up a very nice kind of sticky lather. I'm going to add a bit more water. And then what I'll do for the final part of the shave is for all the lather that's sort of hanging out around the edge of the dish, I'll pull that out and use that as well. All right, that should be plenty. All right, one more loose hair. And it's actually mostly been the badger hairs that are pulling loose out of that knot, so I just, fingers crossed. All right, here we go. I've just put some water onto the base of the brush. No, that doesn't sound right at all yet, but that's definitely getting there. A little airy and a little dry, so let's add some water. And this soap can definitely take quite a bit, and you'll know because it'll suddenly take on kind of a level of slickness that you did not have before. Yeah, this knot is a touch scrubby, just a touch, which is a really nice fit for more than a couple days worth of growth and for working with that hard soap. So this is a really an excellent combo right now. A little heavy still, so just adding a touch more water. And just lightly painting that in. And you can feel the lather loosen up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, a very nice slick feel to it. This, in the scheme of things, kind of a very simple soap. You know, in terms of the scent, it's not unscented. It just has kind of a light, clean, soapy scent with a touch, a very, very light kind of citrusy scent. My first impression was this smells like kind of a very generic but sort of higher end hotel soap. So yeah, you're definitely not buying this for the scent. You're buying this for the quality of the lather and the post shave. Every time I come back to the Rockwell, I'm always taken by surprise a bit, but how heavy it is. Third shave on this blade. First shave on this Rockwell was not that, on the blade itself, a little bit rough, not that comfortable, but second shave was certainly better. I do still find this a very easy razor to use. There we go. Yeah, in terms of overhang, there is just a touch, so there is a spot or two to worry about, but nothing too bad. And even though it's heavy, still pretty easy to use. There we go. That is the first pass done. All right, rinse off. Now here is when you get it wet and you realize there is a very, very nice kind of a fundamental slickness to the soap, and it just lets you know too that you need to make sure you're using enough water when building your lather. If you don't add enough water, I think what you get is kind of a dissatisfying, maybe somewhat pasty or overly thin lather, but nothing too great. So make sure you have enough water in there. Now you may not get kind of a voluminous, thick, super dense amount of lather, although it's certainly there. I did not load that much. I don't think you need to. There we go. Brush, by the way, very easy to hold. Fits in the hand easy. Got a nice kind of a mid weight to it. It's not light, it's not too heavy. Obviously with soap on the handle, it's going to be a little bit slippery, but that's true for all brushes. All right, try to get most of the soap out of my mouth. All right, this is going to be the across the grain pass. Yeah, these blades, I mean, they're okay. They're not great. They certainly do the job, but I think for me, they're ones that just work better. There we go. Yeah, yesterday went out and for the first time in some time started back up on the jump rope routine and came back inside 15 minutes later, eyes watering, nose running. Pollen right now is really, really bad. But surprisingly, skin is not looking too bad, so that's a plus. Yeah, I definitely understand why people kind of gravitate and stick to this soap. It's just very simple and just works. You know, so if you like a good post-shave skin quality, you want a hard puck of soap that's going to last. You don't want to have to fret about maybe getting a scent you don't like. I think this is just another very, very good option. Right there, watch out for the overhang a little bit. It's a really nice solid feel to this razor too. You can just imagine in 100 years when people are collecting century-old Berthier Rockwells. Sure would be nice if they had the serial number on there so you could actually tell what year it was from. That's something that, unfortunately for a lot of modern razors, is just missing. All right, I'm going to dry my hands off well, disassemble the razor and flip over the top cap. And I'm going to use a towel to hold it because if it slips while you're undoing that, that would be potentially not good. All right, so I'm going to just take this off for the moment, move the washer. Okay, so now it's going to be on plate number 2. That's going to be facing up. Put the washer back on again, and then for the third and final pass, knock it down so it's a lot more mild, and it's definitely mild on setting number 2. Let's rinse again just for a moment, get my face wet, and then I'm going to scoop out the soap from the dish. Now, we'll see what happens because normally, this is a little bit messy, but I don't want to waste it really. If you put this on the brush, what happens inevitably is that you just start and then it all falls off the brush into the sink. And that is known as a bummer. All right. Rinse one more time and then we'll lather up for the last pass. Now there is still quite a bit of lather in the brush, right? So I'm just going to drip a little bit on the outside of the brush, so when I start using it, that water will drip towards the face. Now, this, for example, something I would find very hard to do with the Amici brush because it would just be so scrubby that right there that would be uncomfortable. But this brush, really nice combination of very light scrub, good backbone, but it does splay. Been very, very impressed with this knot, by the way. Just, I was really nervous it was going to be kind of scrubby or squitchy, and like I said, my only nervousness is that it is losing a few more hairs than I would like, but I'm not going to panic yet. Not unexpected for a brush to lose some hairs in the first week or two of use. There we go. I gotta say, that looks pretty good. Very nice, dense, creamy lather, and there's still plenty in there, and you can see how nice and dense that is. Let's put that to good use. All right, rinse my hands one more time. Third and final pass. Ugh. All right, there we go. Yeah, warning bells goes off in your head. I don't know about you, but for me, if there's like soap on my lips, there's something in your brain says, get that off your mouth. All right, here's the across the grain, against the grain pass. Very light. Very, very nice slickness to the soap. Maybe not as crazy slick as some of the current artisan offerings, but then again, this is, in the scheme of things, a pretty simple soap. There we go. Right there is where I feel like that blade is struggling a little bit. Soap makes this very easy, and I really like how mild the number 2 base plate is. And pretty good residual slickness too on the soap. All right. Resist the urge to keep shaving. Right there. It's just time to stop. All right. I'm going to rinse my face. There's definitely enough soap in the or lather in the brush. I could easily do another like a cleanup pass, which I have done a couple times this week. I've done like a quick, sort of under my jawline. But for today, call it quits. This soap, by the way, has an unbelievable attraction to the inside of my ear, so that's going to take the towel to get out. A little difficult to rinse off, very good residual slickness. One more. There we go. Better. Try not to get that in your eye. All right, let's towel off. Is the post shave as good as they say? Well, you know what? It is really pretty good. A slight slick layer. Obviously, if you scrub too hard with the towel, that's going to go, but that is a very nice, simple, smooth shave. Man, no heat, no real tightness. Now, I do find this soap in the end a little bit, well, actually, I would say unexpectedly drying because it does have lanolin in it, but still a little bit of kind of underlying tightness. Nothing bad at all, but just there's kind of a mix of results there for me. Pretty good after post shave feel, but not completely without a touch of dryness. So I am sticking, by the way, to the non-alcohol based post shave treatment. I'm going to keep that up for the next couple of weeks. Today's going to be the Captain's Choice Lime again. Really like the shave balm. I'm going to go for 2, maybe 2.5 pumps. By the way, if you apply this to a wet face, much harder to work in. It's got a really nice mix of ingredients in there. Moisturized as well. Has kind of a nice slick sealing feel to it. And I think in the scheme of things, it's been helping my skin all week. All right, there we go. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, this is one of the balms where I will always rinse my hands afterwards. This just does not soak into the skin of the palm of your hand at all, so it always leaves a bit of a kind of a slightly waxy, greasy layer. And for me, I just prefer to remove that. All right, well, what do you think? That's not too bad, not too shabby as a Mother's Day shave. Very, very happy with that. What a great, another excellent selection of products. All right, let's do a very, very quick recap. Quickly, my friends, quickly. Mitchell's Wool Fat. A true classic of the wet shaving world. Everybody should try this unless you're allergic to lanolin or you don't want to use a towel-based soap. But everyone else should definitely try the soap. It's been around for quite a while. A very light, clean, soapy scent to it. I did not find it hard to lather. Many people seem to. If you want to soak it to kind of loosen up and get rid of that sort of that a little skin of toughness, that's fine. But I just used it regularly every day, and after the first couple days, really no issues lathering it. Very easy to use, very nice slick lather. It likes its water, so don't underdo it. Make sure you get enough water into the lather. I think you'll be rewarded with a very nice slick, as you can see, very nice slick creamy lather. Give it a bit of time to work up, right? Just give yourself a moment to learn how to make that actually work. Nothing too difficult. Today's razor and blade, Rockwell. This is the 6S. A very nice heavy razor. Actually unexpectedly heavy, so if you're brand new to wet shaving, this may be sort of more than you were counting on. Nice knurling on the handle, very simple, solid design, adjustable in the sense that you can, of course, flip the base plates over. I always start with the first 2 passes on 4 and then drop down to 2. That is a great combo for me. Today's brush, still covered in lather, as it should be. A beautiful mixed Badger and Boar knot. This is, I think, the Maggard mixed knot in this fantastic handle from Graydog. It is the rosewood, the cocobolo rosewood, as I showed you at the beginning. Absolutely glorious color, and the grain is just fantastic, just absolutely wonderful. And I just want to say thank you once again to Graydog for the extremely kind gifts. There's one more coming, which will probably make an appearance in a week or 2. And then finally, as the end of the shave, put its hat on, Captain's Choice Lime Aftershave Balm. These balms do work very well for me. They obviously come in matching scents for the soaps. Very, very nice product. Works well for my skin. Like I said, it's a little bit heavy, a little greasy and waxy, so make sure that you work it in and start with a bit of a drier face than a wet face. You may find it easier to work with at that point. That's it. We're done. Mother's Day, finished. Well, I want to just say thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate the time you're taking to watch these videos. As always, please feel free to leave comments or questions against these videos, and I try to get back to those as quick as I can. For those of you that are regular posters or commenters, thank you so much. I really appreciate the continued engagement. It just makes it all the more fun for me to make these videos. Thank you again all so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.